You might be aware that Odisha was hit by the annual cyclone in the last week of May this year. This year the cyclone was named Yaas, and if you follow my channel, you might be aware that I volunteer at Animal Welfare Trust, Ikarma, an animal welfare shelter in Ikadag, Odisha. So being a part of their cyclone preparation was completely unavoidable for me. Yaas was forecasted to hit the area Sundargram on 26th morning. So I reached the shelter on 25th morning and I wasn't alone. There were 7 more volunteers besides the founder Purabidi and the caretaker Lalit Bhai who regulars. The plan was pretty simple, although quite labor intensive. The plan had 4 parts: putting on strong plastic sheets to shelter the animals from wind and rain, putting weights in the form of sandbags on the roofs to prevent them from flying away, laying bricks on the muddy surface, and putting more vulnerable members of the family inside cages for protection. We started out by putting the covers and making air holes in them. Then we moved on to laying the bricks. We took breaks when the rain got too heavy and resumed work when we slowed down. Some kiddos like my cat Downy were quite indifferent to what was happening around them, while some others were too curious and not quite helping. But we loved them either way. A quick note: be a little observant of your surroundings to avoid killing innocent creatures by accident. For example, this sticky boy hanging out on the brick. Some of us left before sundown to avoid getting stuck. With work left to do, 4 of us stayed back instead and ended up spending the night at the shelter. After completing most of the prep work, it was time to put the birds in the aviary inside the cages. The cages we freed them from a few months back, ironically. In this, my contribution was limited to handling the lights, as I kinda freak out at the possibility of accidentally hurting the birds while catching them. My biking gloves came handy though.
नाइस, ये बहुत अच्छा बुक है, मजा आ गया देख के।
ये पैर के पास है देख के।
इसमें 4 है यार। इसमें मत दे।
या परत ना
Finally, it was time for the routine works like medicating the sick doggos and setting the evening snacks. These are usually done before sundown, but it was no regular day, so night it was.
वैसे चिल्लाते सब लाड़ी hey hey बस इनफ गुडुल catch me ब्लड निकाले वही ले गए पिंजरा
With the last kiddo with special needs put under extra protection and one last checkup on Tony, the day came to an end. The night came in, the winds grew stronger, and we braced for impact.
चलिए छाता लीजिए वो छाता कहाँ है
Next morning, we woke up to good boys and girls waiting to be petted. Couldn't ask for a better start to our day. And what made the day better was finding out that our preparations have worked. There was no visible damage and none of the kids were injured. All the sandbags we put on the roof did their job well as well. There was some water logging, but nothing a pump could fix. And some kids even made it seem like nothing has happened. For example, Donnie was still indifferent. This is my kid after all. Cheers to the power of stoicism.